Greetings from the Johnson Sports Center here on the Northwest Nazarene University campus. I'm Mike Stetson, Sports Information Director. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of the Crusaders Coach's Corner Show. This week on the show, we sit down with head volleyball coach Doug English. His team is coming off a huge upset of previously unbeaten number 7 Alaska Anchorage. Then we sit down with Isaac Mitchell, cross country runner who ran his second best 8K ever, earned GNAC Athlete of the Week honors this past week, racing down in San Francisco at the San Francisco State Invitational. Thank you for joining us. Now it's time for the Coaches Show. This week's Coaches Show. We're joined by head volleyball coach Doug English this week. The Crusaders coming off a big weekend, sweeping the Alaska schools, 4-match win streak, and of course beating the unbeaten number 7 team in the nation Thursday night. Congratulations! It's got to be nice to have things rolling a little bit now.
Yeah, it is nice. I think it's our job as a coach always to never feel like you have it rolling and to have it good as we're trying to get better and accomplish our goals. But this was a really good weekend for us, and it's been, I think, ever since Game 5 at Concordia, where we played really well and won 15-2 and came out really determined. Like ever since then, we've been playing really good, consistent volleyball, and it's been a work in progress over the past month and a half in order to get to where we are right now. And so that's the fun part, is that we've worked really hard in practice, and it's showing off in the matches that we're playing, and it's allowing us to win some matches and beat some very good teams.
I think the big thing that we've noticed the last few matches, I've noticed at least, defense, both at the net and in back. How much has that changed, improved, or how much has that been effective?
It's improved a great deal. We've been working a lot on our passing, our serving is being more consistent and getting it on the right people, and then defense has been a huge factor for us and a huge emphasis in practice over the last month and a half. And whether that's blocking and seeing the hitters and doing stuff like that, or just pursuing balls and putting ourselves in good places to dig some balls. And so, yeah, it's been a huge emphasis. I mean, it's one of our top 3 priorities. It's been one of our top 3 priorities for the past month and a half as we've worked to get better from where we were after our first 2 preseason weekends.
Got to talk about Haley Cook, Offensive Player of the Week this week in the GNAC.
Congrats to Haley.
But how much has she had an impact on this team, especially since you lose an All-American in Michelle and have to bring in a new setter?
Yeah, Haley's been doing exactly what we've asked her to do, which is get better every day and work hard and put our hitters in good spots. And so we're passing a little bit better for her, and that makes her job a lot easier in order to distribute the balls to different people and keep everybody involved. And she's also, the more she's played, the better she's got at making set choices, and you can see that with our offense. And I feel like within the last 2-3 weeks, our offense has really taken off. And a lot of that, some of that's her passing, and then a lot of that is her choices, and she's always done a great job of putting our hitters in really good spots. And so, yeah, she's been working really hard, just like everybody else, to put our team in the position that we're in right now. So, yeah, it's been awesome to work with her so far this year, and last year, too.
We talked last year about the focus of the team and how they really were driven to make the national tournament by what happened a couple years ago. Now you are tied for 3rd with Central, 2 games back of Western, but all of these teams that are ahead of you, you have a chance to catch them. Mm-hmm. How much is this team driven to repeat as champions and get that automatic?
I think our preseason goals were try and make it to the national tournament, win our conference, and then advance in the national tournament. And I think with those 3 things, we never really strayed from those goals, even though we didn't play. We didn't win as many matches as we wanted to the first 2 weekends of the season, but those goals have been set, and the girls have worked really hard to get to where we are now to put us in a position as we go to the second half of a conference to maybe accomplish all 3 of those goals still. And so it's been fun to go on the journey with them as we move forward.
You guys hit the road this weekend. St. Martin's on Thursday, start of a 4-match road trip. I believe this is like the last road trip of the year.
We got 3 road trips left, so we got this weekend, next weekend, and then 2 weekends after that. So we still got a decent amount on the road, but yeah.
I was joking with folks that you guys finally will get to play a home match in December, and maybe by February we'll have a couple more home matches. But how tough has that been? I mean, 4 home matches out of the first 16 now.
Yeah, it's been really tough, and that's one of the things that's going to line up really nice for us as we come back. Is 6 of our last 8 matches are at home, and so if we can do our work on the road and win the games that we're supposed to win, then we want to play at home against big games, against people that have our crowd here, because our crowd's one of the. The crowd is amazing, and we love playing at home, and so. Hopefully we can keep setting ourselves up where each game gets more important and more important, and then our crowd gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then everything will set up for us to hopefully take care of business at home. But these 2 weeks on the road are big road trips for us to make sure we take care of business at St. Martin's and take care of business at Seattle Pacific, who's pretty good, and then also we need to, then we're going to have a huge matchup against Western the next Thursday, and so there's so much that can happen, and now we're starting to pay more attention to what's going on outside of us, which is really fun too, as Anchorage and Western have a huge match on, I think, Thursday or Saturday this week. So yeah, it's always, it's getting to the point where we're playing good enough volleyball where we can worry about other people and take care of ourselves at the same time, and it's just fun to be in the mix.
Let's talk about this weekend. What is key when you go to St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific? Do you worry about what they're doing, or just continue to focus on getting better?
It's
yourself?
A little of both. We're always continuing on getting better ourselves in the 3 and our focuses, which moving this week, it's still serving and passing, and it's still a little bit of defense, and then we got to get a little bit better out of system offense. So push our middles a little bit more when Haley's off the net, and our outside hitters need to make better choices when they aren't in the best spots to hit. So that's where our focus goes. So you're always kind of talking about those things, and then within that, there's always little things in each match that we can do to help us win. So against St. Martin's, they kind of run their people a bunch of different places, so it's making sure our eyes are in the right spot and trying to find all those things, and then all the people and the hitters coming at us. And then with SPU, they have a couple really good hitters, and it's just a matter of knowing where they are and knowing what they can do in certain situations, and kind of keying on those players, and hopefully we can serve to the right spots too, and then help them take out a system and win that way. So it's mostly about us, but then there are little things that we can do that affect them that are going to make big differences in the matches ahead.
I'm going to ask you about the Alaska match, not because we overmatched them, but it had to be nice to be able to get some of the other players, Breezy, Cami, some of those that have worked so hard in practice, get them a chance to play and play in front of a big, loyal Crusader crowd.
Absolutely. Fairbanks got, a little unlucky as their best player went down on Tuesday, and that really, for them, that's a big loss for them, and she can put balls away, and she's one of the better outside hitters in our conference. So that's a huge loss for them to try and figure out how to play efficiently within 2 days losing your best player. So, but for us, our girls took advantage of that and served really tough, and it's great for Natalie and Cami and Breezy and Shaylee to get more playing time than they have, and allow them to be in front of people and play as they're watching, and they're all doing really good things and progressing through the year too. And for us, it's great to get them in, because one injury and then they're in the whole time, and so the more we can get them in, and the more we can work hard in practice and mix up our teams and things like that, then the more comfortable we're going to be in case something happens. But yeah, it was great to see them get in and play well.
Appreciate you joining us, Coach. Crusaders will be back in a couple weeks on the home floor, but for the next 2 weekends on the road, good luck on the road. I appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, Mike.
It was a big week at home for the Crusader volleyball team, which swept the Alaska schools, beating number 7 and previously unbeaten Alaska Anchorage, shown here, in 4 sets Thursday night. Maddie Farrell had 17 kills and 8 blocks. Kendra Bodine, who had the game-winning kill here, had 14 kills and 17 digs to lead the Crusaders. NNU was back in action against Alaska on Saturday night, picking up the straight-set victory. Haley Cook, who earned GNAC Offensive Player of the Week honors, had 26 assists in the win against the Nanooks and 51 against the Seawolves on Thursday night. my sophomore runner, Isaac Mitchell, who this week was named Athlete of the Week. Isaac, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Talk a little bit about how the season's been going. You guys have had 3 meets so far, and it looks like the results have been pretty good.
Yeah, things are going well. Our first meet was here in Idaho, a little smaller. Things went well for that. Took second there. And then a few weeks ago, we were up in Seattle for a larger invitational. Ran a personal best there. And then this past weekend, we were down in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park and had a fairly large meet, and the whole team did pretty well. So.
Golden Gate Park. Now, were you guys running in the shadow of the Golden Gate Bridge?
We were close. Couldn't see it from where we were, but.
How much fun was it to get down there, compete against some teams that you guys haven't seen that much? Usually, you guys are competing against Seattle and Washington and all that stuff.
Right. It was neat to go against some of the California schools, Chico State, Cal Baptist, San Francisco Academy of Art, a few other Division II schools that we'll be seeing at regionals. So it was nice to see where they're at and race against some of their guys.
7th overall for you, and just looking at the numbers, second fastest race in your 8K history here.
Yes.
And I understand that the course was a little tricky, a little dusty and hilly, so.
It was. I was very excited about it. Wasn't the kind of time I would have liked to have run, but given the conditions, I think it was a good effort. So.
Now I understand during the spring you had a stress fracture?
Yes.
So how is that now?
It's doing well. I don't really have to worry about it. It was just over the summer I had to be careful about training, so I'm back in the swing of things now and able to train like I'd like to.
100%?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the coming weeks. This coming week over in Portland for Lewis and Clark Invitational, and then the big one, the GNAC Championships in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think this upcoming meet will be a lot of fun. Again, some of those Oregon, Washington schools will probably be running against Concordia. Last year, Alaska Fairbanks was there, and a couple other schools in our conference. So it'll be nice to just gear up a little bit for that. And then the following week, we have conference up in Bellingham at Western Washington. That should be fun. I hear it's a fast course, so just see what we have. I have really high hopes for the team. We've been running really well, so it should be a good one.
Now, when you guys go over to Portland, that's kind of close to home for you.
It is.
So do the folks get to come out, a lot of friends?
Yeah. Yep, we'll be actually having a team dinner over at my house, and spend a little time there, so it's nice to be back home.
Very nice. Well, I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season, Isaac.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.